Valuing People Part 2: Psychological Safety. Dynamics play a vital role in the beneficial functioning of any team. Teams with the ability to work well together accomplish significantly more than teams too easily sidetracked by differences. It is a rare team who does not strive to be high-achieving. However, not all are able to cultivate and foster the dynamics essential for making high achievement a reality. Creating accomplished teams starts with psychological safety. Amy Edmondson, noted Harvard Business School professor specializing in organizational leadership, defines psychological safety as a shared belief held by members of a team that the team is safe for interpersonal risk-taking. She goes on to describe that psychological safety is built on the belief that one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, concerns, or mistakes. This type of team setting is not only ideal, but foundational for high-performing teams. Psychologically safe teams value individuals for the diverse backgrounds and ideas they bring to the table. To embrace authentic diversity and inclusion, teams must prioritize individual as well as collective psychological safety. Here are a few tips for facilitating a psychologically safe team environment. Redefine mistakes. Thomas Edison famously stated, "Many of life's failures are people who did not know how close they were to success when they gave up." When faced with setbacks, Edison asserted, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Of course, we know how Edison went on to help usher the world into the modern era with his invention of the light bulb, and we credit him for the incredible scientific successes he achieved. We rarely give much thought to the middle of the story since we know how it ended. However, 10,000 mistakes must have been understandably intimidating. It is to the benefit of the modern world that Edison refused to give up. How much more beneficial momentum could a team gain by viewing mistakes as Edison did? Necessary stepping stones to success. So, what if we could reshape what it looks like to make mistakes so that those mistakes become recognizable, expected components of the learning process rather than failures? How would that change the dynamics of team perspective? As Edison maintained, a mistake is only a failure if we stop there. Imagine you are standing at a trailhead with 3 paths. You have already gone down 2 of the 3 paths, which have led you right back to the same intersection. The choice at this point is simple. However, the direction would not be as clear had you not already explored the other 2. Cannot the same be said about mistakes? Instead of presuming mistakes are failures, endorse the effort and encourage further exploration in a different or broader direction. There can be no succeeding without first trying. Team members with this mentality are free to be much more innovative and creative than those unwilling to try for fear of failure. Welcome productive conflict. Conflict, handled properly, has the unique ability to strengthen and unify teams. This is not to say team members should seek confrontation, but team members who tactfully address conflict can benefit greatly from the disagreements that inherently arise when people work closely together. When handled productively, conflict should become less frequent, as team members learn to appreciate other perspectives and welcome the challenges as well as growth resolution offers. Team members should be encouraged not to avoid conflict, but instead to see it through. This can be rocky in the middle, but the worst course of action is to abandon conflict when it gets rough and leave the issue unresolved. Productive resolution that includes active listening and a vested interest in the other person or people builds teams who value each other and intuitively work better together. Encourage and emulate patience. Patience is crucial in the midst of processing mistakes and/or resolving conflict. Each team member must be willing to consider a bigger picture in response to the unfolding situation or actions of others. Although frustration is a natural first response, impatience is not conducive to building or sustaining a psychologically safe environment. When possible, give others the benefit of the doubt and assume a productive rather than worst-case scenario. The ideal response in any situation is always much easier to imagine or in hindsight than to actually put into practice when irritated or defensive. Recognizing what triggers your frustration helps you manage any type of altercation with foresight and as potential opportunity. Again, consider what might be going on in addition to what is initially visible in the situation. For example, realizing someone's abrupt response may have more to do with an external family matter and less to do with you can make responding reasonably to a coworker's harsh response easier. Celebrate all ideas. Team members who generate ideas freely without having to filter someone else's possible positive or negative perception before sharing are most likely to offer winning ideas more quickly and more frequently. People often keep silent for fear their ideas may be ridiculed and/or judged prematurely. However, brainstorming is a process for working through rudimentary ideas and tweaking them until they solve a problem, not for presenting the best, conclusive ideas from the start. Instead, encourage open conversation in relation to ideas, regardless of whether or not they ultimately solve the problem. Ideas generate more ideas, which frequently lead to the envisioned success. Upholding a mentality that attributes value to all ideas and the people sharing them strengthens team collaboration and investment. Psychological safety cultivates high-achieving team environments where members feel included and valued for the diversity they bring to the table. This critical, dynamic component comprehensively benefits individual team members, sustains high-functioning teams, and directly impacts the success of the entire organization. Action items. Write down ways to prioritize individual as well as collective psychological safety within your team. And think of one specific way you can encourage open conversation about ideas. Thank you for completing this quick course. For more quick courses in this series, Valuing Others, visit our My Source library.